Do you want to speak English easily and naturally? The secret is simple. You must think in English. But how can you do this? Stay with us until the end. But how can you do this?
But how can you do this?
Stay with us until the end.
Stay with us Stay with
and
us
we will
until
teach
the
you.
end. So
How can you do this? Stay with us until the end.
Stay with us until the end.
And we will teach you the best ways to train your brain to think in English. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, and like this video. This will help us make more useful lessons for you. Now, let's start. Thinking in English is not something that happens overnight. It takes time and practice. Many learners translate from their native language to English in their minds. This slows them down. When you think in English directly, your speaking becomes faster and more natural. Here, we will explore effective techniques to help you develop this skill. Start with simple words and phrases. The first step is to use simple words in your mind. When you see a tree, say tree in your head instead of your native language. If you are drinking coffee, say I am drinking coffee. This habit trains your brain to think in English naturally. Try this with objects around you every day. You can also label objects in your house with English words. Write door on your door, mirror on your mirror, and window on your window. Every time you see these objects, your brain will remember the words. This method helps you create an English environment at home. To make this exercise even more effective, try saying these words out loud. For example, every time you open the fridge, say fridge. When you take an apple, say apple. Speaking and thinking in English at the same time will make the language feel more natural. Another powerful technique is to play a quick memory game with yourself. As you walk through a room, name 5 things you see in English. Then, leave the room and try to remember those words. This forces your brain to recall English words quickly, helping you think in English faster. Describe what you see and do. Wherever you go, describe what you see in English. If you are in a park, think, the grass is green, the sun is bright, people are walking. If you are cooking, think, I am cutting vegetables. I am boiling water. This method connecting vegetables. I am boiling water.
I'm boiling water. I'm boiling water.
This method connects your thoughts directly to English. To take this further, try making complete sentences with extra details. Instead of just saying, the car is red, say, the small red car is parked near the big white building. The more details you add, the more natural your English thinking will become. You can also make this a habit while walking. Try a game where you name everything you see in English. Start with simple descriptions and then make them more detailed. Instead of just saying, tree, you can say, the tall tree has green leaves and small red flowers. This expands your vocabulary. If you want to challenge yourself, describe what other people are doing. For example, if you see someone jogging, think, the man in the blue shirt is jogging slowly while listening to music. This helps you practice forming full sentences in your mind. Talk to yourself in English. You don't need a partner to practice English. Talk to yourself in English. When you wake up, say, I am getting out of bed. When you eat, say, this food tastes good. Talking to yourself helps you form sentences without translating. Another way to do this is to ask yourself questions and answer them. For example, in the morning, ask yourself, what is my plan for today? Then answer, I will go to work, then I will meet my friend. At night, ask, what did I do today? And answer in English. This practice helps you think in full sentences. To improve even more, record yourself speaking. Choose a topic and talk for 1 minute in English. Then, listen to your recording and see if you can improve your sentence structure or pronunciation. The more you do this, the more comfortable you will feel thinking in English. Think in English while reading or listening. When you listen to English or read a text, try to think about it in English. If you hear a new word, don't translate it. Instead, understand it from context. For example, if you hear, the dog is barking, imagine the sound of a barking dog instead of translating the word barking. If you don't understand a word, try to guess its meaning from the sentence. For example, if you read, the girl is shivering because it is very cold, you can guess that shivering means shaking because of the cold.
Shivering means shaking because of cold.
Cold. Don't understand dog. Instead, you hear, understand it from context. For example, if you hear, the dog is barking, imagine the sound of a barking dog instead of translating the word barking. If you don't understand a word, try to guess its meaning from the sentence. For example, if you read, the girl is shivering because it is very cold,
the girl is shivering because it is very cold.
You can guess that shivering means shaking because of the cold. This method helps you stop translating and start thinking in English naturally. Try to summarize what you read or listen to in English. After reading a short story, ask yourself, what happened in this story? And answer in English. This forces your brain to process information directly in English. Use English when making decisions. When you are making small decisions, do it in English. If you are choosing between tea or coffee, think, I want tea because it is warm and relaxing. When you make decisions in English, your brain becomes more comfortable thinking in English. Try to expand this habit to your daily life. When you are in a store, think about what you want to buy in English. If you see 2 shirts, ask yourself, which one should I buy? The blue one or the red one? This makes English part of your thought process. If you want to practice even more, write down the reasons for your decisions. For example, write, I chose the red shirt because it looks better on me. This practice helps you structure your thoughts more clearly in English. Make English a habit. Thinking in English should be part of your daily life. At first, it might be difficult, but with practice, it becomes natural. Even if you only do it for a few minutes each day, over time, your brain will get used to it. Set reminders for yourself throughout the day. Put a sticky note on your desk that says, think in English. Every time you see it, switch your thoughts to English for at least 1 minute. If you have trouble staying consistent, keep an English thinking journal. Every night, write down 3 things you thought about in English. This will keep you motivated and help you see your progress over time. Now, it's your turn. Try these techniques and start thinking in English today. Do you already think in English sometimes? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to share this video with your friends who are learning English. Also, if you want to practice English with others, join our Telegram group. The link is in the description. See.
If more is for the I heard that YouTube video in English. cortisol.
There are villages that seem to exist as contradictions of nature, places that make us wonder at first glance. How can people possibly live there? Perched on sheer cliffs, surrounded by endless deserts, floating above water, or clinging to steep mountainsides, they do not merely survive, they build communities, steep mountainsides. They do not merely survive, they build communities, cultures, and unique identities. In today's journey on World Mystery Wonders, we will explore villages born from some of the harshest environments on Earth. These are not movie sets or forgotten ruins. They are real communities where people have transformed hardship into strength and geographical limits into defining character. Each destination tells a story of adaptation, resilience, and the deep connection between humanity and nature. Prepare yourself for a journey through some of the most astonishing villages on our planet. In the arid Ica Desert of Peru, Huacachina appears like a mirage in an endless sea of sand. Surrounded by massive dunes rising dozens of meters high, this small village embraces a natural lagoon, the only source of life in a landscape where survival seems nearly impossible. There is no gentle transition between water and desert. Just a few steps separate the peaceful oasis from steep sandy slopes. Low buildings, palm trees, and the calm lagoon create a striking contrast against the harsh desert that surrounds them. Huacachina was once a resting point for ancient travelers, and over time it became a permanent community in a place that seemed uninhabitable. At sunset, the dunes turn golden and red, bathing the village in an almost surreal glow. Huacachina proves that even in the driest environments, humanity can find life, build shelter, and transform a fragile oasis into a lasting home.
I have in there.
In the emerald waters of Phang Nga Bay in southern Thailand, Koh Phangan stretches entirely over the sea, leaning against a towering limestone cliff that rises dramatically from the water. The village has no natural land. Every house, walkway, and communal space stands on wooden stilts, anchored deep into the seabed. Koh Phangan was founded centuries ago by a Muslim fishing community. What began as a small cluster of stilt houses gradually grew into a dense settlement with a school, a mosque, and even a famous floating football field built above the water. Together, they form a tightly connected architectural network between people and the ocean. Life here follows the rhythm of the tides and the fishing trade. Boats are moored beside homes, and children grow up surrounded by the sound of waves and the scent of salt water. Each passing day demonstrates remarkable resilience in an ever-moving environment. Koh Phangan is more than a village at sea. It is a symbol of collective determination, where water became foundation and the absence of land transformed into a powerful identity. Amid the blue waters of the Flores Sea, Bungian Island appears as a tiny yet densely populated strip of land. Located off Sumbawa in Indonesia, it is known as one of the most crowded communities in the world relative to its size. Remarkably, much of this island was gradually expanded by generations of residents who piled coral stones into the sea to create new living ground. Houses stand tightly packed together, with narrow pathways and almost no open space, forming a closely connected neighborhood where families live side by side. Life on Bungian revolves around the sea. Boats are anchored just outside homes, and the ocean serves as the community's primary livelihood. High population density and natural challenges such as tides and storms constantly test the settlement. Yet, instead of leaving, the people of Bungian continue adapting, reinforcing and expanding their small island together. Bungian Island stands out not for its height or isolation, but for humanity's determination to create living space in the middle of the ocean, turning coral stones into the foundation of a resilient community. Located along the Ligurian coast in Italy's Cinque Terre region, Vernazza clings to a place where rocky mountains plunge directly into the Mediterranean Sea. The village seems to exist in a narrow gap between towering cliffs and deep blue waters. Pastel-colored houses rise vertically, stacked upon one another, creating a vivid architectural painting within a rugged landscape. At the heart of Vernazza lies a small natural harbor, where fishing boats anchor and serve as the pulse of the community. Narrow stone alleys climb upward through steep stairways, leading to terraces, balconies, and paths carved into the cliffs. There is little room to expand, as the terrain itself defines every boundary. For centuries, residents have relied on the sea and terraced vineyards planted along the slopes. At sunset, light reflects off the water and enhances the vibrant tones of each building, making the entire village glow against the rock. Vernazza does not attempt to reshape nature. It survives by adapting completely to the limited space it has been given, transforming geographical constraint into unmistakable charm.
His period described the location, but I can understand
In the Lazio region of central Italy, the ancient village of Calcata stands precariously atop a volcanic rock plateau rising above a lush green valley. From a distance, the entire settlement appears to grow directly out of the cliff, with stone houses tightly pressed together, leaving no unnecessary space. Narrow alleys, uneven stairways, and ancient arches create an almost labyrinth-like structure. Calcutta was abandoned for decades due to fears of collapse. Yet that abandonment helped preserve its medieval architecture. When residents returned, they brought art, creativity, and renewed life, transforming it into a small but vibrant community. From the edge of the cliff, one can look down into the deep valley below. That sense of fragility is ever present, reminding visitors that Calcutta exists in a delicate balance between humanity and geology. Calcutta does not expand outward because there is nowhere to go. Instead, it clings firmly to its ancient rock foundation, turning a seemingly vulnerable position into a unique symbol of resilience and artistic spirit. stands upon a massive rock rising from the Mediterranean Sea, connected to the mainland by a single narrow causeway. From a distance, the rock resembles a natural fortress, completely separated from the outside world, and upon this stone foundation, a medieval town has endured for centuries. Within its ancient fortified walls lies a network of winding cobblestone streets, low arches, and earth-toned stone houses blending seamlessly with the gray cliffs. The enclosed layout and dense construction create the feeling of stepping into another era, where every architectural detail served defense and adaptation to steep terrain. The sea is visible in nearly every direction, acting both as a lifeline and as natural protection. At sunset, golden light reflects off the stone walls, highlighting the town's ancient contours and creating a scene that is both majestic and serene. Monemvasia does not expand beyond its rocky base. It remains anchored to its isolated position, transforming separation into strength and standing as one of the Mediterranean's most remarkable stone towns.